Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are live Wednesday. I made it. Made it to Wednesday evening. I'll be honest. I was trying my darndest to get my videos all edited by tonight. I had, if for those of you who checked out last stream, I've been working on two closer look videos that were from 2 weeks ago. And I've been backlogged because I was on vacation last week. And so now the overwhelming tide of backlogged comics is swelling greatly in my direction. So yeah, I have, based on the previous week's vote, I had two videos because we tied between BRZRKR and Atari Force number 1. And so I had two videos that I was trying to get done by tonight so that we could watch them and premiere them and then go straight into the live poll. Well, truth be told, I only got one done. So I fell a little short of the finish line, but we'll figure it out tonight. We'll figure out how to get all the ducks in a row and hopefully not fall too far behind. There could be worse things about falling behind if it's getting too many comics. But anyway, let's see who is here in the chat. I saw at the beginning here, what is up, American Discord? He smelt, his ears were tingling, and he smelt the smell of new paper. He said, "New comics, you say?" And Shelby was first one in the chat. That's the first time, so awesome. I think the bait worked of Wednesday comics for somebody like Shelby. So welcome, Shelby. Thanks for coming in. And then shortly after, John is here. How you doing, John? We missed you last stream. We thought for sure you might show up like last minute, sliding into the finish line. But Comrade Sammy was quick to tell me that you weren't showing up. We were all like, hopefully John shows up. But you never did. And then we all cried. We all collectively cried. No, just kidding. But it's great to see you here. Thanks for coming. Now it's your turn to throw her under the bus for being here before her and wagging your finger at all the excuses she might have for not being here. Or, like I mentioned in the chat, maybe she's already here and we don't know it. She's got that invisible chat ninja power that I have never figured out how she does what she does. John says, I keep telling her I'm not a ballerina. On point. Last stream and cue. Maybe that should be my next badge or my next notification on the end credits is the last person in chat or the last person in the stream. Guess we'll have to do a movie like Shant does then. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. So my plan was to have both of those videos done before this stream, and then I was going to do a premiere so that we could watch them and chat while we were watching them, because I really liked how that worked out on the previous closer look video. And it's just nice to kind of sit back and watch it with you guys and just chat with you guys. But so I could have done that with the one video that I was done with today. However, in the video, I talk about the only way to do a premiere is to make it public. And I talk in the video about, oh, go watch the other video, and here's the link. And there is no link because that other video is not uploaded yet. So if I made it public, then people who weren't in the stream would see it, and then they'd be like, wait a minute. And I thought it would cause too much confusion. Not like this isn't already confusing. But so, yeah, I think I'm going to have to do like a watch party kind of thing where I screen share it and we watch it and then we can chat. I'll take myself off screen. We can just kind of watch it straight. And then after which hopefully people will stick around for after that, because then that's when I was going to do the live poll for which books that I should do the next closer look video after I finish the second one from 2 weeks ago. Super confusing. Which remind me, I didn't get my thumbnails ready. Well, I can do that on the fly. That's what I did last time. Anyway, maybe that was it. Shelby says, I was way first. You were totally way first, Shelby. You're going to get it. You're going to get the credits. So well done. John saying hello. Shelby said, I just ate 2 burgers and the pepper jack cheese just didn't hit the same. I knew I needed to check my notifications. Pepper jack cheese normally knocks you out or settles you down. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take the extra Shelby time for the lack of good pepper jack. John said, miss you guys too. I was sleeping. As you should be. However, I didn't stream too late the last live stream. I was during the day, John. So you're sleeping during the day? What's up with that? I want to do that. I had to wake up really, really early this morning. Like really early. Like 3 in the morning early. Because I had to drop off one of my kids at the airport. Just taking a trip with school. But it was an ungodly morning this morning. And then I tried to go back to sleep, slept a little bit, and then woke up, started working, and then started editing, and then was kind of running around all day. Had to get to the comic book shop, obviously, because it was Wednesday. There was a book that I was looking for that I saw pop up in social media. I hadn't heard about this book before, but I kind of am interested in, especially in the artist. And it showed up. It released this week. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me look for it on the rack. I went, and the first store didn't have it that I went to, which I went to Amazing Fantasy, which was, I believe it was one of the videos I showed. Yeah, Amazing Fantasy. So it wasn't there. I got some other books, and then I was like, okay, well, yeah, maybe I'll see if I can get parking around the other store that I go to. It's called Comics Experience. And if I can get parking there, then maybe I'll check if they have it. So I went, got easy parking. I was like, sweet. And they usually have good stock. They're a bigger store, so they usually have good stock of stuff. And sure enough, they were sold out too. So then I was like, well, is this really worth it? And I was talking to Zoe, who works at Comics Experience. And she said, well, we're all sold out, but I can show you the book if you want to see it. Somebody has it in their box, in their pull box. And I was like, okay, cool. So she showed it to me, and I was like, dang it. I kind of wanted to pick that up. If I saw that on the rack, I would probably pick it up. And it's a new book. I'm always into new books, from non-existing IP. And so I was like, well, if I drive by the third store, this is where my day started getting crazy. I was like, if I drive by the third store and I can get good parking, maybe I can swing it. And I did. I had great parking karma today. So I pulled up in that store, ran in, looked, they were sold out of the book. And I was like, all right, I am not meant to have that book this week. So yeah, that is not one of the books we will be voting on today because I don't have it. It was called, gosh, I don't even remember the exact name. I mean, I remember the parts of the name. Let me look it up if you guys are even interested, because I'm going to try and find it. I think it will be worth looking for, just because after all this, it's called Monsters Are My Business. And the writer is Cullen Bunn, and the artist is a guy by the name of Patrick Piazzalunga. Great artist. I follow him on X, and I've really liked the stuff that he posted. So that was the main reason I was hunting for that book. So, but I didn't get it. American Discord says, happy hump day, John. John says, well, have to explain what sleep is to Comrade Sammy. Because she doesn't sleep. Maybe she's sleeping right now. Maybe that's why she's not here. American Discord says, does anyone else get a totally different layout in YouTube now? Mine makes a me minimize chat. Yes, I just experienced that. To see the like and sub buttons. Lots of other streams showing underneath this if you scroll. Yes, and then they also made like, I think like if you have a for you suggestion in your channel, they make those thumbnails bigger, which, you know, it's kind of cool. But yeah, I've been noticing some tweaks going on, which is maybe that was during their whole, what I think was maybe like a server upgrade or a coding upgrade when all those followers came for me on Monday. Like I got 40 plus followers on Monday. It was crazy. And you guys were kind of in the middle of that when it was happening. I think I left that first stream. I had like 200 and maybe 4 or something. Like I just broke 200. We're like, yay, broke 200. But by the end of the day, I had like 218, which I have 219 now. Crazy. And I'm just waiting for them to disappear like tomorrow, but they're still here. So yeah, maybe layout changes, random subscribers. I don't know. But yeah, there is something changing in the layout. Oh, Shelby, maybe the zoom of the YouTube page. John's got all these like command. It's not zoom. Actual page is completely different. Yeah, I've seen something different too. Yeah, especially with the chat window and it's like moving from the top to the bottom. Yeah, totally. I felt the same thing. Rocky, can you give American Discord a wrench? Oh yeah, totally. Hang on. Wait. Okay. Shelby said he DM'd me the new YouTube layout. Wait, how do I even get DMs on YouTube? Is it in my notifications? No, I don't. How do you get a DM in YouTube? Oh, are you talking about on Twitter? Oh my gosh. Now you guys are making me do tech stuff on top of everything else. Aha, you are talking about Twitter. Whoa, that's bugging out. Why is that going crazy? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's weird. That's totally weird. Let's see. Okay, let me screen share so that the rest of the world can see this. Is it this one? Yeah. Sorry, my computer screen is bugging out behind. You can see it like jiggling in the back there. But yeah, that's a weird one. Also not a good image on my face, but yeah, you can't see the subscriber or the like button. Totally weird. Very weird. But hang on a second. Let me give you on top of all that, let me give you a wrench, Shelby. Rocky, can you give American Discord? Yeah, let me give you a wrench. Okay, it's on this window. Add as moderator. That should have happened. Hello, Cranberry Langers. Hey, good evening. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Good to see you. We're just talking about weird YouTube layout changes right now. It seems like something strange is happening, or they're trying to upgrade, and it's always those things. It's like, why break it? It was working. Don't confuse us anymore. But then you get used to it after a while. But yeah, that one is kind of weird, especially moving the like button around. It's very odd. John says, yeah, my sleep schedule has been off more than usual since starting to exercise regularly again. Oh, well, hopefully it's a good thing, the changing sleep schedule because of exercise. Hopefully you're getting more sleep because of it. American Discord, are you on Discord? Is that a joke? That's a good one if it is. If not, are you on Discord, Shelby? Yeah, I'm not on Discord. Is this a live poll BRZRKR review? It will be in reverse order, I think, unless you guys go, no, do the live poll first. But I was planning on screen sharing the BRZRKR review and then doing the live poll to top it off at the end. I didn't get the notification for this, Rocky. Dang it. I don't know what's going on with my notifications. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to fix that. I would if I could. I'll look. Maybe that's all part of the weird YouTube upgrade or downgrade, however you want to call it. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what it is with notifications. Because usually when people go live or they schedule a live thing, I'll get a notification. Usually I will. Mostly I get it on mobile. And then if they're live, then it'll give me another notification. Like if it's scheduled, and then once it goes live, I get 2 notifications. But that's a bummer. Okay, cool. Got it. Comrade Sammy is hiding in a cloud of smoke. Sorry, it's on Twix. Yep. Got it. And you are a moderator now. So I don't even know how that would work, though. If you're a moderator, would you post a link to the image if you did something like that? Whatever. Welcome to the mod squad. Whoa, that's awesome, Rocky. What's awesome? My jiggling? Or are you talking about the followers? Maybe the followers? Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, now makes me close chat to view watchers, like buttons and sub button. Then got to reopen chat. Lame sauce. All right, we'll figure it out. Hopefully, or they'll figure it out and go back to the way it was. They'll probably get like 1 million people poo-pooing on it. Yes, thank you, Cranberry Lancers. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like from going from no new subscribers because I wasn't streaming at all, and I think I'm small enough that if there's no activity, you're not going to really get anything on the other side. It's not like my stuff is evergreen, perpetually gaining viewers, right? Not yet. So yeah, to go from like no new followers in 1 week to like 40 plus in one day was like, holy moly. I would prefer the Stormbreaker hammer to a wrench. Yes, that would be awesome. I wish I could meal near you, but unfortunately wrenches are that. That'd be cool if you could customize your wrench. Huh. Like if you could customize certain things like you could customize your like button. Maybe that would get crazy. I know you can customize badges once you get like people paying to be paid subscribers, but customize wrench to be Stormbreaker would be hot. Yeah, I pronounce X as Twitter and tweet. I know it's confusing. I'm always like on X or Twitter or whatever. I'm always double talking about it. It's always going to be. I like Twix though. I think Twix is kind of fun, but it's always going to be referred to as Twitter for as long as it exists, unfortunately. They don't have those unless you're in the Asgardian time zone. That's true. Guess this is the new norm. Gotta let chat know to minimize chat and hit the like and subscribe now. Ugh. So instead of saying smash that like, hit that like, subscribe, guys, it's going to be minimize your chat and then subscribe and then open your chat. That's going to be the new thing to say at the end of streams, which is lame. Are those ads at the bottom of the screen? American Discord, I used uBlock Origin as an ad blocker. Cool. YouTube loves to break things. They do. If YouTube doesn't change things, Cranberry Langer says, people will get used to the system and game it easier. Yeah, I guess so. I hate change. I think most people hate change. And then you kind of get used to it, then you live with it, and then you get used to it, and then they change again. So, American Discord says, no, those are live streams. Is this a Berserker review and live poll? You reversed it, didn't you? You're trying to mess with me. Wait, I'm going to go back and look. You reversed it, didn't you? Yes, you reversed it. It is going to be that. So yes, correct. Scrolls for miles. Show us the books. Okay, sure. If you're ad blocker, custom emojis. Rocky isn't near you enough to get you a Stormbreaker hammer, American Discord. Get it? Oh, I haven't used my Oh, wait. Ah, I haven't used that in a while. There you go. All right, let us get to the stream. Wait a minute. Before I do, somebody showed up. Hey, Comrade Sammy, how are you doing? Did you not get a notification? Please let us know. It seems like notifications were not going out, or Cranberry Langers didn't get one. And I'm assuming Mark's Music Obsession didn't get one, and he's either going to come in here mad or he's already asleep, one or the other. I was risking it going this late. He's probably asleep. But yeah, if you didn't get a notification, then there's a trend. Yeah, I got to research that a little bit. I'm sure people are talking about it or streaming about it. But it seems to be some sort of weird trend. Dad jokes coming in hot tonight. That's right. There we go. All right. John says, no one threw you under the bus. No need to check. No comment. Good one. No comment. I think the older I get, the more I love the corny jokes. It's just part of the DNA, I guess. His poor mom is up and bored. Yeah, his mom's like waiting in front of the TV. She's watching us right now. Hi, Mark's mom. Good to see you're awake and that your son is asleep. Now I got a notification. Was busy just making chocolate. Oh, okay. All right. Nice. That's good to know. Good you got the notification, and good you got the chocolate. And American Discord says, not getting notifications is normal, Rocky. Half my chat says this, they saw the streams on accident. All right, cool. I think my the ratio will increase as the subscribers and followers increase, and it'll become more of the norm of nobody getting notifications and people just randomly checking. Okay, so let's get to it. What I'm gonna do is last one. I'm so sidetracked by the chat. It's too interesting. Hey, Loki, thank you for the wrench. You're welcome. You are welcome. Well deserved. All right. So what we're gonna do first is we are gonna watch. So I did for Comrade Sammy, who came in a little late, Cranberry Langers. I did finish only one of my videos. I did not finish the Atari Force one. I finished the Berserker one, like literally hot off the press 30 minutes ago. So I can't make it public and do a premiere. I mean, I could, but unfortunately it references videos of like, click on the link, go to this video, go watch the other video without that video being done yet. And so if I make it public now, everybody else will watch it and be like, what other video are you talking about? And I don't want to cause that much confusion. However, I did want to show it and did want to watch it with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I will just stream it now, screen share it now, and we'll watch it and you guys will chat. I won't be talking through it. I'll just kind of let it play and then chat away. Then after that, I will do the live poll of the books that we will be voting on. And the books, the thumbnail of this stream, there's a little bit of a hint of what the books are. They didn't come out this week. They came out last week, but there's a theme with them. So that's why I decided to do them. All right. Sounds good. More rim shot. Yes. I've heard of low key. Is there a high key too? Low key equals low key. Stop it. Stop it. Low key. Wait, what did you say? Hi, hey, low key. Thank you for the wrench. Low key. Low key. No, I got low key, but low key? Never mind. The end. Stream's over. All right, let me get this set up and then let's watch it. Okay. Let me just make sure nothing's broken. I'll full screen this guy. Make sure when you guys, when I switch to this window, let me know, when I start playing, let me know if let me know if you can hear everything okay. So I'm going to take myself off screen, and I won't talk because that's distracting, and stopping and starting is distracting. But I'm just going to let it play. We'll chat. I mean, I'll be here, but just let me know if you guys can hear everything okay. All right. There's my face. And I got to play it on this one. So this book is BRZRKR, Poetry of Madness, the pen and ink version. So let me know if you guys can hear this okay. This book by Steve Skroce. This pen and ink version. Sorry. This is the black and white Hang on. Process. Rewind. See, this is why I need the chat. Is the All right. I'm sorry. So this book, I did mute it. I did mute it because long story short, my mic is feeding through the same loop as the audio. And I muted my mic because I didn't want you guys to hear me breathing or talking, but I'm going to mute it a different way so you can still hear the audio. So I'm playing it now. You guys are awesome. Thank you for telling me. Otherwise, this would have just been a silent video and been really boring. All right, here we go. Is BRZRKR, Poetry of Madness, the pen and ink version of this book by Steve Skroce, who's both the writer and artist of this one-shot. Dave Stewart is the colorist on it, and I will look at a comparison of both because it's cool to see the black and white and also the commentary from Steve Skroce, but it's really cool to see how the colors added so much to the artwork and really enhanced the story. I'll be looking at all of that in this week's episode of My Wednesday Comics Closer Look. Okay, BRZRKR, Poetry of Madness, pen and ink version. This is the black and white process edition of this book that came out in late 2023. I'm going to keep this one handy because as I do this flip through, I'm definitely going to compare it to the colored pages so we can see what Dave Stewart did and added in as a colorist. It's really fascinating. I really love that Boom Studios produces these pen and ink version of the books. I've collected a few of them, and it seems like this one and the last one that I picked up, which is also BRZRKR, and I had reviewed it in one of my previous My Wednesday Comics videos. They produce it at this regular comic book size as opposed to a larger size like a lot of artist editions do. The unfortunate thing about that is one of the things they like to do is include a commentary here by the creators, which is nice, but it forces the pages to be shrunk down a little bit more. So you lose a little bit of the resolution of the artwork, but I say to keep it as an affordable book and accessible to people who don't want to plunk down hundreds of dollars for an artist edition, I say it's okay. Steve Skroce's artwork is always impressive. He always puts in a lot of detail in his rendering. It's neat to see just in this opening splash page, which this is Atlantis, and it's a crowd of barbarians entering into Atlantis. It's great to say where he picks and chooses what detail he's going to show. So for example, this crowd scene back here, they're just tiny marks, but because he adds the detail up front here, your eye and your brain kind of fills in like, oh, here's a huge, massive crowd already, without having to see all the spears and shields and weapons detailed in the tiny bit. I always wondered if Steve Skroce was influenced by Jeff Darrow because they both worked on the Matrix movies. As far as his level of detail, this like background detail and stuff, there's a lot of similarities there. Again, in this page, that's kind of why I marked it here. It's a great reverse shot of the opening splash, but you can see like the expressions that he's adding in here. And then some of these background characters are just little circles and little tick marks, but you get it that there's this huge army coming at you. Steve Skroce's commentary, for the most part, is pretty humorous, and I'd say focuses a lot on the writing process because he's both the writer and artist on this. But it is nice to hear what he talks about, what he's thinking as you're reading through the story. That's the cool thing about this pen and ink version. And you can see how tight his inks are. They're great, really beautiful, very clear, and he draws great faces, expressions, and guts. This is the introduction to Keanu Reeves's BRZRKR character called Unute, and he's just causing crazy havoc here, slicing and dicing and super heroic. The armor is based off of Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola movie, and he even talks about here in the commentary, and you can see it in the cover, the colors. This is so much of a reference from that movie. It's amazing. It's a great design, great idea. One of the things I love about Steve Skroce is his ability to capture a likeness and draw different expressions of it. And because he worked on the original Matrix movies, I'm guessing he drew a lot of Keanu Reeves, and he just nails his expressions here in his face, and it's awesome. There's just a lot of violence. He's got a lot of these shots, a lot of money shots with Keanu Reeves like coming at you and swinging his sword and giving you this crazy expression, even getting wrecked himself. That's part of BRZRKR's thing, just all out violence, and he's really brutal and he takes a lot of punishment, but he heals and he's immortal. You often see him maimed and dismembered in certain panels, and Skroce is not afraid to show you that. Again, I wonder how much Jeff Darrow influenced or rubbed off on him when they were working together, because this definitely has a Darrow-in feel. So this is kind of a cool spread to look at in comparison with the colors. I'd say that the clarity on this is pretty good already, even though there's a lot of detail, a lot of lines, a lot of rendering. It's like a montage sequence, and you're seeing Keanu Reeves' character BRZRKR in different scale, doing different things, fighting different enemies here. He's small here, he's up front here, he's a big close-up here. But you can read it pretty clearly in the black and white version. But let's look at it in the colored side. So automatically making his armor that Dracula-inspired, Francis Ford Coppola-inspired armor, which the costume designer was this famous Japanese costume designer, Aiko Ishioka. She's an incredible costume designer. So she designed this armor, not for this book, but for the movie. And it's this blood red color, which works great for Dracula, great for BRZRKR. So it just stands out in the page. But here you can see the comparison, and you can even see how they cropped it off. I don't know if that was intentional or just part of the printing, but you can really see even clearer how Dave Stewart just leads your eye with his colors. Yes, there's a lot of blood, but you can really see what is going on. This is like a present day moment, and BRZRKR's colors are what they should be. But then these past moments that are kind of happening where you see him like thinking about all these battles, thinking about moments in the battle, he mutes them back here, and it gives you some nice depth in the page. I kind of miss this part here of BRZRKR biting the face off of one of his enemies, but it's very, even though they cropped it off here, it's really clear here because the colors totally render that out. And then this girl, character who is like the servant for BRZRKR in the story and also serves as the narrator, in this page you kind of lose her a little bit. I mean, you see it, but she's really clear in the colored version with all that red behind her. So I love the choices that Dave Stewart is making to make the page really stand out. You can see in this version, in the pen and ink version, you can see how Steve Skroce uses line weight to delineate between background and foreground elements and things that he wants to recede on the page. It's a really light touch here. I don't know if he's scaling down his drawings. I did read in here and he had mentioned that he draws the page digitally first so that he can scale things up really easily. Then he prints them out, blue line, and then light boxes them and tightens the pencils and inks them traditionally, which is a methodology I want to try for my own comic work because I love that traditional ink touch that I feel like digital kind of loses a little bit. So he's using that process here. I don't know how he gets such thin lines like in this kind of panel. Maybe he's shrinking something down, or maybe he's using a really thin nib. It's a nice contrast to these thicker, bolder lines where your eye wants to follow BRZRKR's character here. It's a great likeness of Keanu Reeves. I love it. It's like a John Wick Keanu Reeves. And he has this moment here where BRZRKR has a flashback. He serves this king and serves as pretty much a bodyguard for this king who used to be this boy. It was a boy that his parents were murdered and he came and rescued him. The color kind of treats that. He changes it subtly, not so dramatically, but you do make the connection between the adult version and the young version because of, one, the expression, but two, also the green in the eyes, which is a nice touch, a really nice touch. And then he kind of adds more of a warm red tone here to take us into this flashback moment. This is stuff that you kind of miss when you're seeing things full colored, but black and white really show you how the artist is using blacks and whites to draw your attention to certain areas. This great little reverse eye here. See in the color, yep, it's like a reverse eye. Here's like water splashing across the cliffs, but color really emphasizes that and helps with that moment. Steve Skroce draws great environments, great setup shots, great wide shots. I love this little pattern that he puts on these priests, part of the bad guys that are kind of manipulating the king that's Keanu Reeves' friend. Steve Skroce tends to draw smarmy characters. Like, look at this expression. Even this main king, they kind of give you make your skin crawl a little bit. He doesn't just have a generic face, a generic comic book face that he goes to. He's really studying likenesses and applying that to his character designs. He must have referenced this. Must be reference some actor or somebody he knows. Here he singles out BRZRKR, a lot of blacks in his costume, and keeps the rendering on this trap pretty open, so it's more white and the blacks of BRZRKR stand out. There's a lot more color rendering going on. Feel the organic nature of this trap as opposed to the black and white version. It's a really good contrast with all the reds going on. There was one tiny storytelling moment that I didn't quite catch. I had to go back and reread, but they pierce BRZRKR with this funnel so that they can drink his blood. I think if they just had a cutaway shot of, the piercing going into his body, we'd get it, but it just appeared here suddenly, so I missed that. And then here's the entrance to Cthulhu. It's always a great obstacle / villain / enemy to fight. It's really frightening. He mentioned how he designed, in this commentary, he designed it to have more tentacles because I guess the description of Cthulhu is giant bat wings and more of a human body, but he kind of made them all wrapped into these tentacles, which is awesome. So here's the color version of Cthulhu. It's amazing. It's a really great, frightening image, and it works really well with all the blood and the reds in the other designs. I love this guy's expression. He's totally out of his mind's bonkers. Creepy. Again, one of those creepy, smarmy characters. And then here comes BRZRKR flying at you again, ready to take on Cthulhu. He mentioned that his size, the fight of the size was a challenge for him. He was super excited to do the battle, but he realized, wow, I've got this very, very, very tiny Superman-like character fighting Godzilla. So how do you stage that when scale is so different between the characters? So here is like how tiny Berserker is compared to Cthulhu. You can kind of see it. They highlight his path here. I love the Cthulhu colors that Dave Stewart picks. Gross and otherworldly. One thing that Steve Skroce has always been good at is action sequences and staging action sequences. I think that's why he was hired as a storyboard artist by the Wachowskis. He's just so good at staging stuff, and he's got a great thought process of where one action sequence or moment leads to the next, and how there's like a follow through in that, and you really can track it. Even though it's chaotic and otherworldly, you can kind of track where the action's going. I'm curious of what kind of tools he used for these like speed lines. I wonder if it's a pen or a brush. What happens is he cuts off one of Cthulhu's teeth, and I love that because of Cthulhu's colors are purples and reds, Dave Stewart pops this yellow in the back. So you can really create separation and clarity on the form. Here you almost, you can see it, but it's really clear here what's going on and where Berserker is. So I love that use of color to help clarify and enhance the artwork. Yeah, you can see he's just going at it. Most of the time, I'd say in general, he's a very tight artist. It's not left for interpretation. He's pretty tight with his forms and just his finishes. But for this action stuff, as Keanu Reeves' character Berserker is moving around fast, he tended to do a lot more loose lines, which is cool. And then there's this flashback moment again, goes towards the same shot almost with the kid. The kid has a slight walleye too. It's like a nice subtle design thing, but he keeps it in there. And then the king dies. They are stuck inside the stomach of Cthulhu. There's those green eyes again. And Berserker, in clear Berserker fashion, reaches into this guy's heart, rips it out, and shoves it in his mouth. The violence has no bounds in this book. Then Berserker hears, like supernaturally hears where the heart is for Cthulhu, and then finds his way to find the heart, to rip it out and kill him. So this is a really chaotic page. You can tell a lot of destruction's going on, and then to see that in color, boom, it's great. It's like there's a great sense of like depth, and feels like a cavern inside. You can really feel you're inside the body of Cthulhu here. Here, you can see it, but you can see how much color adds to it. And then the kingdom of Atlantis is destroyed because of it. And I'm assuming that's why Atlantis is this underwater kingdom. The myth of it is because of this moment. And then Berserker leaves. He leaves, and he leaves behind his companion. He separates from her and leaves her behind. And here it is in color. They go full on yellow, which, really contrasts all the purples we've been seeing up to that point. That yellow flashback final moment kind of stands out and buttons up the story. It's cool. Cool compilation, cool version of this book. So on a scale of 1 to 10 for story, I'd give this a 4. I love that in this one shot, Steve Skroce is able to set up a little bit of backstory for Berserker, the relationship between him and the king, build up to the conflict, and then end it on this huge epic battle with Cthulhu. I think it was nicely self-contained. You didn't feel like you were missing anything, and it was paced out pretty nicely. For world, or the genre that it lived in, I'd also give this a 4. I think that the setup in Atlantis and just that whole fantasy, mythic storyline and you throw in Cthulhu in that, were all a fun playground for him to set up a story of Berserker. It really felt like a myth, and he set that up nicely in the world. On a scale of 1 to 5 for characters, I'd give this a 3. I've never really connected with the Berserker character. I think it's just because he's so powerful and invulnerable, and he can heal from anything, and he just like is incredibly violent in all his fights. It's hard to see a little bit. I mean, you saw a little bit of the shades of the humanity in his relationship with the king. So that was nice, but he's a little one-dimensional to me, and maybe it's just because I haven't read enough Berserker. And then the side characters, the narrator, the girl who is the servant for Berserker, other than just being a narrator, I didn't really feel like her character added much to the story. She didn't have that much of a relationship with Berserker other than she just admired him and kind of followed him around, and then at the end the relationship was over. The king had a cool arc, but he wasn't that likable, and then all the like evil guys, the priests or whatever, they were pretty one-dimensional. And granted, it is a mythic kind of story, and it is a one-shot, so it's not like he could have had a lot of runway for character development, but the key component of that was Berserker himself, and like I said, I've never really connected to that character. And finally, the art for this, I would give this a 4/5, and I say that only because I love the artwork. I think that Steve Skroce is an incredible artist, and I pretty much love everything that he does. But because this is specifically about the pen and ink version, and Steve Skroce's pen and ink work is awesome, but I think that Dave Stewart's work just added a whole nother level to that. And that would be a 5 for me. That book, the colored version of this book, is a 5 as far as art. So I'd say the pen and ink version was a 4 asterisk. There were some things in the pen and ink version that I got a little bit lost. That color just solved for me. So yeah, that just because it's the pen and ink version, I just give it a 4. But overall, I really love the artwork on this. And like I said, I pretty much like all the artwork that Steve Skroce ever does. So that's Berserker, pen and ink, Poetry of Madness. Check it out. I definitely recommend getting both versions if you can, getting the color version and the black and white version if you get a chance, because they offer 2 different sides to the same coin. And it's nice to see a little bit of Steve Skroce's behind the scene, as well as seeing how the color work adds so much to it. Hopefully you like this video. Definitely like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think about the book. And if you have the book, let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't already, check out the second video that I'm making for this week for Atari Force number 1. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. See, that's where I lied, and I didn't have the video ready. Which is why we did it this way. So yeah, Emo Trash, when you joined in, that was the reason why I screen shared it for this as opposed to doing like a public premiere, because I did not have the Atari Force video ready. Hopefully, cross my fingers, I can get that one done by tomorrow. But this one, there was a little bit more editing that I had to do on this one. Like I had mentioned in the chat, some of you might have seen, like for some crazy reason, I always get his name, the pronunciation of his last name mixed up. And so I did it, I hope I did it right. In the opening and closing wrap up, I pronounced it Skroce, which is how it's supposed to be pronounced, if I'm not mistaken. But then when I did the overhead shot, which I shoot all at the same time. And when I did the overhead shot, I kept saying Scrokey, and I didn't notice it until I started editing it together. And I was like, oh shoot. And I didn't want to have to re-record it. So then I did like a dub of my voice replacing everywhere it happened, which I said it maybe like 20 times. I had to dub in. So I had to edit in that audio. It was kind of a pain in the butt, but and then you guys saw the last mistake I made at the very end, which I just did a on-screen subtitle of, like I said, on a scale to 1 to 10, and I'm actually doing a scale to 1 to 5. So anyway, all those things made this edit a little bit longer, and I wasn't able to get to the second video. But what do you guys think of the book? Pretty cool, right? Yeah, and I love what you guys were saying about the colors, because I felt the same exact way. Like, I really think Scrose is an incredible artist and storyteller and penciler and inker on his own stuff, and now he's definitely doing a lot more writing, and so that's all great. So I didn't have that much to like nitpick on his drawing, but being able to look at the colored version right next to it and see what Dave Stewart was doing, and I don't even feel like Dave Stewart's colors were too heavy-handed. Like, he was being pretty subtle, pretty, conservative with how he was rendering stuff in color and how he was using color, and some of it was almost monochromatic, not overly modeled or realistic, pretty flat, some gradients here and there. But it made some of those scenes just pop when you saw it in comparison to the black and white. So it really was for me, it was a great example of like what a colorist can do, how they can help a story, how they can help an artist, an already very talented, capable artist, but how their colors can kind of take it to the next level. So that's why my rating for the art, like, I would probably give it a 5, but comparing it with the colors, I was like, oh, well, that would be a 5. So 4 asterisk. American Discord says, Rocky, word of advice, post that video separate on its own as well as leaving this one up. No worries on the last click, the other video king. Nobody will notice. Okay. All right. I'll do that as opposed to waiting, right? Yeah. I'm so like whatever, antsy about that kind of stuff. But if the more you get to know me, the more you realize I overthink things quite a bit, as many artists do. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to be confusing, but I think you're right. I think it's just get it out there. Everybody's saying looks like a good book. Rocky the Ice Cream Man with all my dings, my signature dings. I'm glad that you noticed the volume was adjusted on that, John. So yeah, I kept you in mind, took it down a couple notches. Let's see. What heathen drinks chocolate milk with ice? Don't you remember Yoo-Hoo? That was stuff was supposed to be, well, that's not technically chocolate milk. That was like chocolate water. But that stuff you can't drink warm. That's got to be cold. Comrade Sammy drinks it with ice. Yeah. It's gross. Scroky, scrose. I don't know. Whatever. I even the guy, when I saw a YouTube video where somebody was interviewing him, and I think they said scroky, and he replied with scrose. So I'm just taking from what he said, not what I think it is, but maybe I read it wrong. I always get it confused. So whatever. Steve. We're just going to call him Steve. But yeah, I love his stuff. I had mentioned in the chat some of the first things I saw that he did. He did a Gambit. I actually have it. Oh, do I have it here? Not on my shelf. I have it in one of my boxes, but I have a Gambit series that he did. And then he did this. Oh, I do have the Youngblood. Let me grab that really quick. Thought I had it. Maybe I don't have it. knew I had it. This was like, everybody knows Rob Liefeld and Youngblood and his whole world, right? The Rob Liefeld style. But then when he had Alan Moore come in and he did Awesome Comics, which rebranded as Awesome Comics. He had Steve Skroce did a couple issues. Have you guys seen this? Shelby, have you seen these? I'm sure you've seen these. But these were awesome. Like, I just love how he reimagined some of these characters. And let me flip to overhead so you guys can see it better. Totally derailing here. Oops. But these were really, really cool. And I thought that Larry Stucker was a great inker on his work too. I think he was his inker on Gambit, if I'm not mistaken. But like, I loved his version of Domino. So cool. Usually when I see people reimagine like iconic characters, you're like, well, I don't know if you should have done that, but I loved it. Suprema, the like female Supreme. Yeah, this is fun. This is a cool character. Like this gross stuff is like amazing. And yeah, I agree with you, Shelby. Like, his stuff has evolved differently for his recent stuff, but he's so solid. He's just a very solid artist. This one and then this. I think they only did 2 issues. They were supposed to do 3. This came out in 1998. There were supposed to be 3, but I don't think the 3rd one ever came out. Unfortunately, for whatever reason. I know there was some like legalities and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Shelby says Skroce suffers from what every comic artist suffers from when they do Hollywood work. They forget how to properly play with line weights in a comic and settle for dead weighted lines. That's a good point. Yeah, I figure like he's been doing storyboards for so long and worked on all those Matrix films that like the subtlety of, or the craft of the finished image for the comic, probably he was just so used to like cranking the storyboards out so fast, right? And you don't ever have to take those to this kind of finish anymore. So yeah, I can see that. But I'm sure he got paid way more money to work on those films than he did for these books. But look at that. That's amazing. Like, I think this is an homage to that Fantastic Four creature from Fantastic Four number 1. But yeah, this was fun. It was a fun book. I wish it kept going. I wish there was more issues. But like I said, I think they only came out with 2. Stephen Platt. Yeah, there's some sneak peek from Youngblood 3, but it never came out. Oh, sorry, really bright. So yeah, Steve Skroce from BRZRKR, pretty awesome. All right, let's see, where are we at? Let me just catch up in the chat, and then we'll get to the books for this week's My Wednesday Comics. If you look at Skroce's X-Force books, it's very obvious, that he kind of gave up on his line weights. Yeah. Dave was a heavy lifter on this book, no doubt. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Rocky, do you really think you overthink things? I don't know. Let me think about that. I'm not sure. Rocky's weighted face brings people to the streams. Thanks. Cranberry Lander says, I didn't like Yoo-Hoo. Yeah, it was kind of gross. I mean, at one point it was like the drink. It was like Tang. I mean, not like it tastes like Tang, but it was just like the drink that was in our childhood psyche. But then when you really tried it, you're like, this isn't that great. Yoo-Hoo, oh man, used to drink those all the time when I was working at pharmacy. Yeah, that was definitely the pharmacy drink. Now, like the hot thing, right? Is Shelby, you can speak. It's like Monster drinks, right? Isn't that? Or weren't you talking about Monster drinks in one of your streams? I think one of the first streams I did, you were talking about Monster drinks. Is it Monster drinks? Something. One of those like Red Bull Monster drinks. But in our day, it was Yoo-Hoo and Tang and the Kool-Aid Man. I prefer regular chocolate milk. We usually have a Starbucks frap at night, cold. Yeah, Starbucks frap definitely needs to be cold. Haven't had a Yoo-Hoo in forever. Let's bring it back, Yoo-Hoo. There is a difference when it's chilled versus putting ice in it because when I drink my chocolate straight from the fridge. Yeah, I can see that. Ice watering down a good chocolate milk. So you got to have it chilled in a bottle. Maybe it's better. I do remember a good like Nesquik in a bottle, in a cold bottle was good. On occasion, this might be controversial, but a strawberry milk. My wife just bought banana milk, which I haven't tried. I mean, I've tried it before, but I haven't tried the one she got. So I don't know. That one's always like on the fine line of like, does it really taste like a banana or is it what banana candy tastes? It's like banana. I used to be obsessed with banana now and laters. Do you guys remember those? And those never tasted like a banana, but they tasted like what you thought you wanted a banana to taste like. I don't know. I think I like the quick strawberry chocolate more. There we go. Quick. I cannot remember the last time seeing a Yoo-Hoo in the store. I still see them. They're still there. They are still in existence. Maybe not as popular as when we were kids, but they're still there. Rocky is learning that absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah. Granted, I don't look for Yoo-Hoo either. Yeah. I have some Mennonite cocoa. Cocoa? Mennonite cocoa. Wow, that sounds specific. American Discord, Shelby says, I inked Liefeld on the last run of Youngblood. Only short story backups in like 6 of the 11 books. That's legendary, man. That is amazing. That's awesome. I love it. I love hearing that. I remember there was that one totally random thought. There was that book, the Spider-Man, when Todd was doing Spider-Man, and he had either 1 or 2 issues where he got a whole bunch of different people inking him, and I think Liefeld was inking him in one, and like Scott Williams, and they just all these different inkers. And I remember obsessing over that book, trying to figure out who inked what page. I'm sure there's a guide out there because I don't think they ever listed it. Maybe they did, but anyway, that was a random thought. But I was just thinking of inking and Liefeld, and I know that Liefeld did ink some of those pages. Oh, I think actually in the McFarlane Spider-Man Artist Edition, some of those original pages that are in that Artist Edition are from that issue, and I think Liefeld signed some of those pages, so it's obvious which ones he did. Anyway, Larry used to ink a lot of Todd now. How do you pronounce his name? I used to always say Nuak, but I know it's not spelled that way. So Nauk, when I was in the studio, I remember his work too. So yeah, Larry, I liked his inks on Scrose's work. And then after that, I don't know if I followed him much after that. Kind of disappeared. If I remember, I may get one and try it again, see if it's like I remembered or not. It's probably, if you're talking about the Yoo-Hoo, it's probably worse than you imagine. It's like watered down, barely chocolate thing. So tread lightly, but it would be kind of cool. I might go get a Yoo-Hoo too, just because we've been talking about it so much. But yeah, I'd tread lightly. Stay near to the bathroom. American Discord says that was probably the best era of Extreme Properties awesome comics versions. Those and of course my homie Platt mid-90s. Yeah, that was it. I have all those like Prophets up there. When Platt was firing in all cylinders, man, that guy was unbelievable. I have this is not the real page. I wish it was, but from Prophet, it's a copy that I got on eBay. Not scanned as high quality as I was hoping was, but still great image. I love that image. But yeah, I think when Rob allowed other people to kind of take his properties and go with them. Varying results, but I really like that Youngblood one. That was awesome. Comrade Sammy says, get me one too. Get me a Yoo-Hoo. Goldmouth Monster. Oh, from the Youngblood. Yeah, that was awesome. Where's Lady Supreme at? Ketchup. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm catching John. This is my MO, dude. Sad they gave Supreme mental illness as the only way to defeat him. Is that what happened? I never even followed what happened to Supreme, so I didn't know that. Okay, I'm jumping ahead. I was born and grew up near you, Rocky. They used to sell this stuff by the gallon called Choco Delight. Did that have a monkey on it? I wonder. That sounds really familiar. Parents always had that in the fridge. Found out it's straight up whey with choco powder. That sounds gross. Oh my goodness. We were just touring, when we were on vacation, we toured Hearst Castle. And one part of the castle, they were saying, was like the smoking room. And you could see like the damage that the smoke did. But the tour guide was just saying how like nobody knew any better, right? Smoking was like the social thing, and you go there after the meal and all this kind of stuff. But like the things we know now of what was like, oh yeah, smoking, everybody does that, is shocking, right? So I think the things we drank as kids also is shocking and will probably shock us. Like Yoo-Hoo is probably like the worst thing. Eating Twinkies and all those kind of stuff are like the worst thing. So yeah. Cranberry Landers has a vote for banana milk, chilled glass for chocolate milk or strawberry milk. Nesquik, yeah, Nesquik still kicks. I love it. I won't. I loved making Nesquik and having like the little bits of chocolate that wouldn't totally dissolve. Those were like little pockets of heaven in my Nesquik. I remember now and laters, I found out the fake banana taste actually tastes like an actual banana variant, which exists. Taste exactly. Oh, the runts. Yeah. That were shaped like bananas, right? Oh man, that stuff's gross. There's really a banana that tastes like really fake banana? Oh, that I don't know. Okay. Yes, I know who did all of those pages. I talk about it on my McFarlane Spidey Omni. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that then, because you're probably like friends with most of those people. So yeah, I will. I just remember obsessing over it and thinking that I could, like, every mark, I was like, oh, that feels like a whatever. Like some people were more obvious than other. Like I felt like Liefeld's inks were pretty obvious and Scott Williams inks, but then there was a few others that I was like, oh, is that Todd inking himself, or is that, yeah. So Knock. Okay, Todd Knock. Okay, perfect. Todd Knock. Nice. We're talking about Yoo-Hoo more. You liked Prophet. I liked the art, but didn't get into the book. I didn't think the writing was that great, but I liked the concept. And I did love, I mean, as crazy as Platt's art is, when you look at some of the stuff he was doing, it was so exciting. And I still even look at the books now, being like a professional artist now, but looking at now, it's still really fun and exciting. And that style, I talked about this in that last stream, like something about the way that he just leaned into everything that was so exciting about comics of that time and that era. It was like that times 100 that he would put on the page. And it's just mind blowing. He was just having so much fun and just injecting so much fun. I know he was taking long times with his book, and there was a lot of people were like upset that books weren't coming out regularly. That was the whole Image thing. But man, they were just so fun and exciting, and it just takes me back to being a kid looking at that stuff. So I do like Prophet. Hey, whey protein isn't bad. I don't think whey protein isn't bad, but I don't think it was good the way they did in the Choco Milk. Alan Moore's Supreme Run was literally just rejected Superman runs that he, was all right. Never did care for the character personally. Cedric drew him really well. Was full on mark. Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember that too. That was just kind of his way of telling the stories he wanted to do that he couldn't in mainstream. Cranberry Langer says, I'm in an apartment where there was a smoker and yellow liquid. Oh, gross. That's nasty. Is that why you're moving? I would move too if that's what was happening. I think I have one prophet book. I liked Bishop instead. They're fun. I mean, he didn't do too many. There aren't that many that Platt did. I know he did like the second run of the series, or the second whatever volume of Prophet came out, which actually, I mean, he evolved. I just loved his first stuff the most. It was just so unbridled and crazy and just tapped into my childhood brain at the time. So I like that. That was his first Prophet stuff that he did is my favorite Platt stuff. Us kids pretending to get lit by drinking soda out of the caps. It's true. Let me see. There's actually a banana which tastes like the supposedly fake banana taste. You can watch Weird Fruit Explorer doing a review of that banana and how it tastes like the fake. Okay, awesome to know. I will check that out. Cranberry Langer says it's one of the reasons I'm moving, and that and the gunshots and infestations. That's the 3 strikes and you're moving. That sounds like a good sign to move, man. I would get out of there as fast as you can. The blob lives above Cran. Comrade Sammy, just the chat ninja trying to keep me on my toes. I'm no ballerina on point. She moves fast. Comrade Sammy moves fast. She's dropping chocolate milk bombs and just running. Okay, let's get to the comics. That all this talk about Wednesday comics, and let me get to that. Alrighty, where am I? The good thing about doing that video first was I was able to grab my thumbnails while we were watching. So kudos to talking long about books. Okay, so where is my overhead? Here we go. All right, so I have 3 books, keeping it simple this week. And I did pick up quite a few books today. But most of the books, I'll just show them to you really quick, but they're not going to be voted on. But most of them are repeats of books that I already have. So Void Rivals was one. This one I'm pretty excited at looking at. Transformers. This is the first issue that Daniel Warren Johnson is not drawing. The artist's name is Jorge Corona. I will definitely do like YouTube shorts on these. Void Rivals has had a chance to be voted on, has never made it up the ladder, so I decided not to put it in the poll. I haven't even read the other Incredible Hulks that I talked about last time. And I got a new one. It's still the Danny Earls one. Love Danny Earls. So I will check that out. Not going to put it in the poll. Not going to put this Transform in the poll. I thought about putting this one in the poll. The controversial Ultimate X-Men #2 by Peach Momoko. Emo Trash. This is the artist I was talking about. Peach Momoko. She is, as I mentioned in the chat, people either love her or hate her. And she is doing this series, Ultimate X-Men. I did a closer look review on Ultimate X-Men #1 that everybody voted on. And it was pretty fascinating to kind of look at and examine and also talk about why there was such a negative reaction to her book and her reaction to the negative reaction. But speaking of what you were talking about, like jumping from styles of like kawaii, cutesy stuff to horror stuff, she definitely has that. Like she has a manga style, but very great watercolor painted stuff is her work. And she injects horror. And all the things I've seen her do, you can tell she loves horror. And she puts that in here. So yeah, this is Ultimate X-Men #2. But I won't put this in the vote because we already talked about Ultimate X-Men #1. And the books that I am going to put in, that I'm going to show you guys right now, all are kind of together and will live in the same world or universe. So that's why I kind of grouped them together, and I thought throwing this one in there would be a little off the mark. But I will do like a YouTube short on this one, and if it's worth it, I'll do a closer look video separately. But I think it's going to be more of the same of issue 1. We'll see. TBD. I haven't read it yet, but I did just pick that up today. Okay, so the books that I whoa, keep hitting my mic. The books that I'm going to talk about. Hold on a second. This video is playing in repeat. The books that I'm going to talk about today are all under the Ghost Machine banner. So this book was a debut, I want to say one-shot, that Ghost Machine is a new label with a whole bunch of writers and artists, started a few months ago. And some of the main creators that are in there are like Gary Frank, Brian Hitch, Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok, Francis Manapool, Brad Meltzer, Ivan Rice, Peter Schneeberg, Peter Tomase, Lamont. I'm not so familiar with Lamont McGee or Maytel Zachut. But yeah, anyway, they formed their own imprint, their own studio. I know they have like ownership in it too. They're not just work for hire. They're kind of like all pulled their talents together to form this company. And they did a little preview on each book that's going to be coming out from this universe. So Geiger has already been coming out earlier on. They already finished like a short run on this series, but they're kind of relaunching it all. So the 3 books they're relaunched, the 3 books they are launching this month are the 3 books that we're going to look at really quickly today. And then you guys can vote on which one we will look closer. So the first one is Geiger. Let me make sure it's not super bright. Take that down a little bit. Okay, so this first book is called Geiger, and it is by Jeff Johns is the writer, and Gary Frank is the he's also a creator, but the artist on this. And I haven't read any of these books, and I haven't read the original Geiger short series that they released, but the basic premise that I know is like he was exposed to radiation, and he has these 2 like not sticks but batons that help regulate that regulation in him. And I think the radiation also killed his family, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of what motivates him to go on his journey. But so yeah, those 2 rods on his back like stabilize him, but he also uses them as weapons. And he's just kind of on this journey, like going through the desert, like he can't be near anybody. And I'm not 100% sure what he's looking for. Maybe the cause of the radiation or something. But yeah. So this is the first book. It's pretty cool design. I like his design. I love the skull face and the radiation. I love the devices of the like batons on his back. But yeah, I don't know so much about his backstory other than it's like a tragic, his family got killed kind of thing. Let's see. If you don't mow your lawn and all the houses are boarded, you're home. Wait, what are you guys talking about? Cool cover for Geiger. Yeah, I really like this design. It's really striking. It's got a like Moon Knight, Ghost Rider kind of vibe to him. Love the glowing color. Love the idea of radiation and controlling them with these sticks or batons or plutonium devices, whatever. And it takes place in the kind of I don't think post-apocalyptic, but definitely in the future, kind of when things are not going well in the world with 2-headed dogs. And it's cool. They have this little. They did this in the original one-shot book, but they have this timeline of when each one of these books kind of happen. Junkyard Joe was another one that little miniseries came out, and I did a review on one of the books. And Redcoat is another one we're going to look at pretty close. I think Geiger is just kind of walking the land like Kung Fu, Man of Kung Fu, or something like that. He's just kind of wandering the desert because he can't be around anybody. Here we go. Throughout history, unlikely and strange heroes have risen and fallen. These men and women are a mystery, their identities and lives a secret, but for a great evil to be stopped, their stories must be told. From a radioactive family man in the near future, there we go, not post-apocalyptic, near future, to a British assassin, that's who we're going to look at next, Redcoat, to a robotic killing machine seeking its creator, and more. That's Junkyard Joe. We're not going to look at that one. So yeah, Geiger #1 came out today. Not today, April, last week. Redcoat #1 came out, and Rook Exodus #1 came out. Those are the 3 books we're going to look at. Okay, so that's the first one, Geiger. All right, next book. Let me see. The caffeine crash is setting in, but the art on these ones very much draws me in. I love glowy skeleton design. Nice. You guys remember that He-Man character? Scaregore? He was a skeleton. He was basically like a He-Man skeleton, and he would glow in the dark. Like, can't go wrong with glow in the dark skeletons. Hey, Jolly Green. Welcome. Welcome to the party. We just finished live streaming a video I did, a closer look video on BRZRKR, Poetry of Madness, pen and ink version. I'll be posting that public shortly after this stream. And then now we're going through 3 books that technically I pick up on a Wednesday, but these are a rollover from last week because I didn't stream last week. But these are 3 books I picked up last week. And at the end of this, we're just going to look through them really quick. And then at the end of this, I put out on the community tab on my channel a vote. And I let everybody vote on which book they want me to do a closer deep dive on. So the first book we looked at was Geiger. All 3 of these books are from the Ghost Machine label. So the first book we looked at is Geiger. The second book is Redcoat. And so my understanding of the story of Redcoat is he's kind of like Highlander, where he's immortal and he kind of lives through all these different eras. But the main one they focus on, I don't know if it's the beginning of him, of when he existed, but is like, American Revolution. So normally when you're like, oh, it's a comic about the American Revolution, I would be like, I'm not a huge American Revolution buff, but there's something about the idea that he's immortal and like this kind of stuff, which is really fascinating to me. It's like a nice twist. And also I love Brian Hitch's work. I think he's a great artist. So yeah, that intrigued me. And also the way in the Ghost Machine one-shot, they had a few pages of story for Redcoat, and the way they wrote him was great. He kind of has this attitude of like, he knows he's immortal, and so it's like I don't care, like whatever, like it's kind of like a nonchalant, like if you knew you were immortal, like it would be a cool thing at first and you'd do these amazing things, but then after a while it gets old. So that's kind of, it feels like that's how they're writing him, which is a cool take. So yeah, this artwork looks great. The colorist, who's the colorist on this? Brad Anderson. Looks great. Good stuff. Great likenesses. So weird cult. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna jump huge time periods, but I think he is gonna like kind of hop around a little bit. And Ben Franklin is a character that he runs into. So I know Redcoat, I think he's going to cross over with like existing people in history. So I think Ben Franklin's one, and I believe Albert Einstein is another one that they do. Oh yeah, here you go. They're talking about like the different time periods, him showing up. Cool. It's like Quantum Leap meets Highlander. Yes, the atomic age-old tale of radiation exposure giving people superpowers instead of cancer. Yeah, gotta love it. They took Bancroft's artist Rod and made him a hero. Now imagine these written while fam waits on the oncology floor. Yikes. Oh boy. Let's see. Skeletor. No, not Skeletor. There was a... I know Skeletor. No, there was another guy. I think it was like Scare something. It wasn't Skeletor. That's so funny because I can see now how my description would sound like Skeletor, but it wasn't Skeletor. No, it wasn't Skeletor. You guys, look it up. It's like Scare something. Scaregore? I can't remember. Why'd Skeletor have muscles? Good question. Because in order to produce mass designs, they just changed the heads on those He-Man figures, and but kept the same body type, and then just recolored it and added accessories. It was all toys. Technically, Thursday is here now, so my Thursday comics for John. I ordered all 3. I'll get them in about a week. Oh, cool. Nice. Jolly Green, do you get your books online then? Like in the mail, as opposed to going to a store? I've never done that. I had a friend who would get his subscription service through the mail. Granted, I was lucky enough to be around stores where I could pick up books, and I know people who aren't have to order it that way. But I order a lot of books, back issues online, but not current books. So that's cool. Yeah, hopefully I'm not spoiling too much for you, or if I am, you can close your eyes. But yeah, it's. I was talking to one of the store owners. I got these books actually out of town. I didn't get them at my local stores because we were out of town. And he was just saying like, it's pretty impressive that they decided to just go full hog with all 3 of these number 1s at the same week, as opposed to staggering them out. And we'll see how long they can keep it up, right? Like if they can keep these on a regular schedule, or maybe they're just a limited books, like 3 issues, 5 issues, who knows? I don't know their release schedule, but I would think for a new company, they'd want to stagger it, but they just decided to come out with all 3 number 1s. And then these are all kind of, they go April, and beyond. Might be sometime in the future. I don't know. We'll see. They're already doing merch too. So there we go. Redcoat, number 1. So we got Geiger, number 1. It's a great name too, Geiger. Redcoat's a great name too. Love it. And these are part of the unnamed, like within Ghost Machine. I think this is like the Jeff Johns world of the unnamed. And then, final book, Rook Exodus. Gosh, I keep hitting my mic. Rook Exodus. Now, let me double check here. And now Revolutionary War era plotline. This week is picking at all my vices. There you go. Great pages. They look gorgeous for Redcoat. Yeah, look really good. Brian Hitch, he's solid. He's not one of my favorite artists, but he's always solid. And this one feels really tight, like really like peak Brian Hitch stuff. Scary the Kids artist. Scareglow. There you go. Thank you, Jolly Green. See, he knows what I'm talking about. It wasn't Skeletor, Scareglow. Thank you. See, and what a genius name. Skeleton that glows. Scareglow. Perfect. Scargaro Fairman. No. Okay. $5 shipping regardless of book count. Oh, okay. So I guess if you get multiple books, that's a really good deal. What? Do you mind saying where you order your books from? That's pretty good. Awesome One says, I remember Rook being crowdfunded a year or so ago. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. The first time I heard about it was that one shot, that Ghost Machine one shot. So yeah, the concept of this one, if you just told me the concept and I didn't see the art, I probably wouldn't be that into it. But the art looks great. I really like Jason Fabok's work. And like, when I think of this concept, I'm thinking like Power Rangers or like, any kind of those like kids things that we grew up. But this takes on a very mature, it feels like a very mature take. And the designs for the armor and the animal helmets are really awesome. Like that is so cool. So this is more like post-apocalyptic. And from my understanding of this, it's like I think they are more like they're not just warriors, they're actually like farmers and like agrarians who connect with their environment. I could be totally wrong, but this is what I remember from the one shot. And connect with specific animal species like a certain family connects with bears and a certain family connects with birds or whatever. And but then they're thrown into a situation where they have to fight a war or survive, and so it becomes a lot more serious. So yeah, this is post-apocalyptic, which is amazing. Again, artwork looks fantastic, colors look great. Who's the colorist on this? Brad Anderson again. That guy's good. And it's just really dense artwork here. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one too. He does look like Scareglow. See? There we go. There we go. The unfortunate thing about me is that I'm incapable of taking naps unless I'm ill. I wish I could find rest like most others. Yeah, that's tough. I have some friends and some relatives who have a little bit of like insomnia, like, they don't sleep well at all. They're just very light sleepers. Oh, look at this guy. This boar guy is amazing. Like, that is so cool. I love this. Like, as like cheesy as it can be, when it's done well, it's cool. Do you guys remember those toys where I think they were like battle beasts or something like that, and they had the heat sensitive stickers where you would put your thumb on it and you would see what tribe they belong to. Like, I love that. I ate that stuff up as a kid. And I feel like they're trying to tap into some of that right here, but make it a little bit more adult, a little bit more sci-fi, a little bit more dire. That's awesome. So what I was saying was, yeah, I have some friends and family who don't sleep well, and that's rough. Like that's a tough thing to live with. So hope you find some rest, emo trash. Maybe it's because you're watching YouTube late at night. I was trying to tell that to my daughter. She was like, I can't. I'm like, stop watching screen right before you go to bed. The lights will keep you up. Rocky's trying to keep emo trash awake by hitting the mic. Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm trying to keep you awake and also trying to make you go to sleep. The colors look amazing on red coat. Yeah, I agree. College has taught me that sleep is for the weak. I say I'll sleep when I'm dead. So I'm kind of in that lines. I can sleep. Once I put my head down, I will be out like a log. But I also am a night owl, so it's kind of a catch-22 a little bit. Who needs sleep when you have assignments? Comrade Salmon says, who needs sleep in general? Not me. The helmets give them animal powers. Yes, that's it. This looks awesome. I love this boar guy. I think they had like an image in the one shot that had a bunch of the different helmets like all on one page, and this boar guy was one of it. There was a bunch of other ones which were really cool. Here it is. Choose your animal. Like, these are amazing. I love these. Like, these could be really bad if they were in the hands of a lesser artist or somebody who didn't have good design sense. But these look all super fun. Like, usually when you see it, you're like, ah, That one's my favorite. Like the spider guy is the best one, but all of these look so cool. Like if I had to pick one, I'd have a hard time picking one as my favorite because they all look really good. Yeah, this boar guy, I think this guy's gonna be my favorite. Holy moly, look at that. Earth. Oh, wow, I love that. I'm digging this one already. All of those books, really impressive first issues. Well done, Ghost Machine. I have yet to read. Oh, there it is. Same picture. I have yet to read them, so we'll see as far as the writing. But the artwork looks like it's amazing. These are really thick. Most good few pages are like ads for Ghost Machine. But the paper is nice. It's not too thin and flimsy. The covers are nice, heavy stock, and not super glossy, like kind of satin, almost matte on all of these. So they have a nice feel. All the stores that I was at, yeah, all of these kind of have the same printing. All the stores that I was at had ordered a lot of these. Like they could tell that they would sell well. So I'm excited to see. Like it would be great. It's a tough thing to start a whole new universe with all new characters and have them connect somehow story-wise and have them all be really strong. And it seems like they're doing it, but you know, TBD as we look at them and review them. But I'm pretty excited. Cranberry Landry says these pages look great. People talking about sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good stream. All right, Cranberry Landry. See you later. You don't want to vote? I'm gonna throw it up really quick. Everybody's saying good night. Good night. Yes, I am going later than normal. Rocky's a night owl because Shanth is never awake otherwise. That's right. That's the only way I know Shanth is because he's up late and I have to cross over with him somehow. Shanth was big time. He's on mail-ins last night. Nice. Yeah, he's doing it, man. He's taking it to the next level. So, all right, John says, I'm ready to vote. I'm not normally super into comics, but I might be kind of sold on these ones. Awesome. That's what I want to hear. I can never tell if Malin is telling a joke or being real, so I stopped watching him. He's got his own sense of humor. So, yeah, you got to be... He seems like just a straight talking dude, but he definitely has his own sense of humor. Rocky, I tried to share where I get my comics, but it's muting it. I pre-ordered to save 35% with $5 shipping. I get a box about once a month of comics. Oh, wow. That's awesome. All right. Let's do... John is 1 a.m. Okay, sorry, John. Sorry. For John. Hashtag for John. Okay, let's get the poll going so that those of you who want to sleep can sleep. And let me get my keyboard here. I got my thumbnails ready. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah. This... Wait. Let me... All right. We're going to get there, guys. So for those of you who don't know, who have not joined me before for this, what I do is I set up a poll on the community tab on my channel live while we're doing it so that let's make sure that, okay, that goes here. And is that pretty good? Somewhat. It's hard for me to see because I guess I should move this to my other screen. 1 second so that I can see what I'm doing because I have screens on top of screens here. It's getting confusing. Okay, so publish. Okay, you guys see that? The community tab. So then we'll create a poll, image poll. Option 1 is, whoops. Let's see. Whoa. Option 1 is Geiger. Option 2 is Redcoat. And option 3 is Rook. All right. And then I'm going to copy. Yikes. So then the poll will close at midnight Pacific time, my time, which is in 2 hours, just so it doesn't go in perpetuity. And this is Geiger, number 1. This is Redcoat, number 1. And this is Rook Exodus, number 1. All right, vote for your book. You're good. I got a nap earlier. John, great artwork and very fascinating concept. Okay, volunteer. Okay, let me vote for the book you want me to review. Poll closes PST. Geiger, Redcoat. Oh, I know, one more. I do this. So that we can see. Oh, that one's, well, we'll do that. All right, and I think that's it. And then I'll post it. Boom. Should be live now. All right, go vote. Everyone should be live. Maybe you have to refresh a couple times, but go vote. And while you do that, I will catch up on the chat. Mod Jolly Rocky. I still don't get, I have to choose only one? Yes, only one, Emo Trash. Otherwise, I'm going to have to record more than one video. And we all know how that turned out. I didn't even finish my second video of Atari Force, which I will do. I know the Art and Times of Jay Ryan voted for Atari Force last time. So he'd be pissed that I didn't do that video yet. I will get it up there. I'm going to try and finish it tomorrow if I can. Hashtag John the Misunderstood. Rook, I'm not going to try and influence any of your votes or anything. John's sure of himself. Going for Rook. John uses dead people votes, maybe. Oh my goodness. Vote here. Thank you, John. Thanks for posting that link. All right, let me refresh, see if any votes have coming in yet. Well, 50-50 a Geiger and please don't make me tie. Don't make a tie, guys. That would not be great on me. I need to only have an odd number of people watching my streams that vote so that it never is a tie. But hopefully other people jump. Oh, no, still 50-50. I mean, like for the people that went to sleep. No, I mean, if I could change the time that the poll closes. I could do that. Should I do that? What do you guys think? That's a personal problem. I have the patience to wait for all three. Fair enough. Fair enough. Emo Trash, we're going to make them all eat. No, stop it. What do you guys think? I will definitely take your advice. I would put up another poll to vote on when the poll should close. No, but no, literally, or seriously, do you guys want me to close the poll? Should I close the poll later? Like maybe give it till, I could give it till noon PST tomorrow. That way people like Mark, who probably would vote, can be included. And I won't be discriminating those of you who need sleep. John says, should I vote for MMO and his mom? Oh, boy. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you feel like I should keep the poll open, maybe that's a good idea. I'm leaning towards that. I can say poll closes at noon PST because it's not like I'll be working on the video between now and noon tomorrow anyway. Make another poll for the poll. That's what I was going to say. I could make it complicated, but maybe I'm overthinking. Once again, overthinking. But yeah, let me know. Jolly Green's taking off. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Jolly Green. Thanks for being here and commenting and sharing. Stay tuned for which one gets voted on. Which one gets voted to be done a closer look, but then you'll also have these books yourselves probably soon, so you'll already know. You won't need a closer look video. But anyway, thanks for coming. It's good seeing you. Pretty sure Selby said rook too. Now we're just like making stuff up. Poleception. I had mentioned, were you in the stream Emo Trash when I was talking about the movies I was watching with my son? And Inception was one of, like I was telling him he's on a Christopher Nolan kick, and Interstellar was the last one we watched, and The Eclipse happened, and then we were talking about somebody, for I think it was Comrade Sammy was having memory issues, and we were talking about Memento, and then now you're talking about Poleception. There we go. It's a whole Christopher Nolan thing. Oh, what did you say, awesome one? Did you read my comment? I'm sure it's a good one. Let's see. Comment says, do right, vote Geiger. He's already making his pitch. Look at that. 5 votes, and we are still tied. So thanks a lot, Mr. Redcoat, for not helping with the vote, but I would have a tough time voting on which one, because I think all 3 look equally strong. If I had to just go based on first looks and art, they look all equally strong. I think probably the tipping point for which one will be my favorite will be writing, and ironically, or not ironically, amazingly, all of these are written by Jeff Johns, so he's competing with himself. So then it boils down to genre, and I'm a sucker for post-apocalyptic. I love post-apocalyptic. I do love superhero mutant origin stories like Geiger, and Redcoat is not my favorite as far as genre, but the way that they've crafted that story sounds really intriguing to me, and I think I'm going to like that character. So I don't know. I'm just as torn as you guys, and I don't think I can vote. John says, should I make a poll if I should make a poll? I think that would be the safe thing to do. I think it would. Polly Wally, was it? Stop it. A committee to form a committee? Yeah, sounds like our government. I do not recall that stream. Maybe because you have Memento, short-term memory. All right, I think we're stuck at 5 votes. Okay, nobody has said. Everybody's just saying I should make another poll, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make the executive decision that I will keep this poll open in honor of Mark's music obsession going to bed early. I am going to keep this poll open till noon tomorrow. So let's change that. Oh, shoot. I can't change it. Disaster. I can't edit? Come on. I'm not going to delete it. All right, I'll just make a comment. See, this is why I overthink things, because if you don't think about them, these kind of details slip past, and confusion. I don't like confusion, especially in communication. So let's see. How can I make this obvious? I'm going to say update. I decided to keep the poll open. Now keep the poll open. No. I decided to keep the poll open till noon PST. For those of you who like to sleep early. Cough, cough. MMO. So, get in your votes. And tip the scales, please. Yeah? So how's that sound? Shelby, it's your turn to vote if you're watching. Hats off to our regulars who are not here. Right. Polly Wally had no hair. Most people don't use the community tab. Well, I'll post it on Twix too. Huh? I don't know. I'm just going to put it here. I will make the correction. If I do this moving forward, I will decide to keep it on noon as opposed to midnight. So yeah, I'm just doing it. I'm not going to think it. I'm not overthinking it because overthinking is bad. Emo Trust says post-apocalyptic is always fun, but I'm also a history junkie while also being immediately fascinated by radiation and nuclear physics. Do you see my conundrum? I do. It's tough. And hats off to them for thinking of 3 books from right out of the gates that are interesting. The other book that Jeff Johns wrote, Junkyard Joe, was pretty cool. It was like this robot it was like an army story, but he was like a robot and he was trying to find out his creator, and he was kind of discriminated against because he was a robot by the humans, but then he ended up saving them and then they like kind of embraced them. There was all this I only read a couple issues, but it was another cool genre. Sometimes the only way to learn is by failure. Yeah, I think that's it. I think deep down inside, I don't want to fail, so I don't. That's where the overthinking comes. So I'm not overthinking, and I just posted that comment. Vote the middle one so they're all at 40%. Stop it. You use Oppenheimer to unload your knowledge on your best friend. Boyfriend, right? Or best friend. Another Nolan movie. People in their sleeping privileges. Emo Trash already voted. If true, I have no idea how I remember that. Yes, ever since being introduced to the Fallout games, I've only been slightly obsessed. Nice. Isn't Fallout about... I'm not a gamer at all, so isn't Fallout about nuclear fallout? That sounds like it would make sense. Kind of like Scareglow. Okay. You have a second YouTube account? Voter fraud is always an option. Oh my goodness. You guys are funny. All right, let me just refresh one more time. I think we're at 40, 20, 40 because everybody that was here has voted already. My update is up there. Maybe, I don't know. Mark's not even getting my notifications for the regular stream, so how in the heck would he get for the community tab? I don't know. If you guys see Mark's music obsession in another stream tomorrow and it's before noon, just tell him to come and vote. That's the best way, is to... Or I could post a comment on his YouTube channel. So roundabout. Hey, Mark, nice video. Go vote on my community tab, dude. I might do that. I might manually give him a notification. That's to what level I will go to not get another tie this week. Emo Trash says boyfriend. BF is boyfriend. Okay. Fallout is... You're crazy. It's about surviving a post-nuclear apocalypse. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah. Always fun. Always fun subject. All right, we're at 40, 20, 40. I think that's it for tonight for all of you guys who have voted. Thank you so much for voting and getting us stuck here. This is kind of how it felt last time, where I ended up in this mess with BRZRKR and Atari Force. But to be honest, it's really fun. And I was just trying to limit the amount of books that I did videos on so my videos weren't so long. But now it's just like I'm splitting them all out into single videos and making more content and making my life even harder. So thank you. You guys are the reason why I don't sleep, and also the reason why we have 200 and what's it at? Let me look. 200, where are we at now? 219 subscribers. So you can't argue with success, right? So yeah. Oh boy. Yes, let's have a comment on Emo's Let's do it. I'm going to do it. Okay. Wait. I'm going to do it. And you guys are going to witness it. All right, let me get this. There we go. Let's do it. All right. Mark's Music Obsession. I know I'm subscribed to his channel. If you guys aren't subscribed to Mark's Music Obsession, look it up, handsome dude. 18 subscribers. Subscribe. See, I'm subscribed. All right, so his latest video was this one. Beautiful video of him on his boat. And I'm gonna look at that cute dog. That awesome boat. See, I already commented on it, but I'm gonna add another comment. Emo Trust says, I'm personally identify as a menace. I'm not here to help. Okay, we love it. And you better stay out. Good idea. I'm going to do that. This is going to be great. Nina is streaming. She will vote. Who's Nina? I don't think I know Nina. Do I? All right. Yo. M-O. And hello. M-M-O-M-O-M. This is your personal notification to go vote on this week's books. I'm leaving the poll open till noon PST just for you. Please break me out of the tie again. Here we go. John says Nina Infinity. I don't know Nina Infinity. Is this Nina Infinity's link, John? Okay, wait. I can't click on that link. Okay, so cool. Oh, Sean posted a new video. Go check out Sean. All right, let me see. I got to go here to... How am I doing this with you guys? Is this... Oh, this is my poll. The link you did is a poll. We're still at 4022. All right, cool. Comrade Sammy, I just saw your comment. You rascal. You chat ninja, you. Remember, folks, we're trying... Comrade Sammy says, remember, folks, we're trying to even the poll, so Rocky has to do all three. Oh, boy. That's it. MMO mom. Yep. Cecil is streaming. Maybe he will vote. That's okay. No, that is the link to your... Okay, cool. Awesome, folks. All right, let me see. Where are we at? We are... This is... has been a fun stream. 2 hours. Oh my gosh. Too much. Emo Trust says, now we on Streamception. I know. This is getting too much. See what happens when I don't overthink things? Then it ends up like this, like a mess, total mess. Stalker vibes, totally. It is stalker vibes. He will either really appreciate it or unsubscribe. Oh my goodness, the chat ninja will not be bested. Nah, she's deadly. All right, guys. Well, that was a long stream, but it was really fun for multiple reasons. Thank you for joining me. I think Shelby is out, but he actually was the first in chat. So he made it. Good on him. But anyway, thank you guys. Thanks for watching the Berserker video with me. I loved all the chatting and the comments. I will be working on the Atari Force 1 tomorrow. Hopefully I can get it done during the day, and I will post that as soon as I do. And I will make public these other videos too, just to get them out there. And then, yeah, I'm leaving the poll open for tomorrow till noon PST time, so that gives enough time for Mark to check his comments on a water ocean video to go vote on my poll. And hopefully he will help tip the scales. And if you really want to make it all even, you're going to have to get another few people to vote. So tell your friends. Make sure you like to the stream. What is it? Subscribe. I know some of you guys are already subscribed. Comment. You guys are already commenting. You guys are doing it all. I don't need to tell you. But thank you so much for coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making me laugh. And thanks for making me have a great Wednesday evening. Not just about comics, but about you guys. So I appreciate it. And stay tuned for more stuff coming. Lots of backlogged videos and bad pollception. All right. I will see you guys later. Take care. Good night. Go get some rest, emo trash. I'll talk to you guys later.